It's Varsity Weekly Live, your coverage of all things pop culture, local Arizona news, and national news.
We can't hear you, Vin.
I know, it said mute. Gosh, it happens every time. Welcome to Varsity Weekly Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Vince Delisio, joined, as always, by members of our amazing team. From Arizona State University's Cronkite School of Mass Communications, we have Janice Reyes and Jalen Higgins. Janice, Jalen, how you guys doing?
Hello, I'm doing great today.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Super happy to be here.
Well, we are bordering. We're knocking on the door of spring break, so you guys gotta have a little extra spring in your step.
Yeah, most definitely. It's been a busy week, so I'm glad spring break is right around the corner.
We are there. So as you, our viewing audience, already know, this show kind of follows what's trending out there, what's big on social media, what's going on in the world. Not necessarily sports, maybe a little blend of sports built in, but it's pop culture and all things related. So to kick things off, we are going to take it to Janice, who's going to introduce a special guest. Take it away, Janice.
All right, so for our first guest, we have Ethan Kinney, who is going to tell us about the World Cup that's coming here to the United States for the summer.
Hi, Janice. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, so the World Cup is coming to the States this summer, and I'm super excited. My main sport, I love basketball, but the World Cup, it kind of pulls me back into soccer. Just the atmospheres that you get at the games, it's something that is really not comparable to any sport that we see. I mean, maybe the Super Bowl, but think of it as kind of the Super Bowl, but hundreds of games. That's kind of what I can compare. So there's going to be games across all of the USA, Mexico, and Canada. So there's going to be 16 total stadiums, 11 of which are in the United States, 3 are in Mexico, 2 are in Canada. And they've actually expanded it this year so that now there's 48 teams competing to lift the World Cup trophy. And a lot of people, they think, oh, it's always going to be the same teams, Brazil, France, Germany, England, they got all the star players. But one of the things I like to look out for is, there's always 1 or 2 teams that advances way further than they're expected to. And last World Cup in 2022, Morocco actually made the semifinals. And that was kind of the team that I sort of started rooting on once the United States got eliminated. So, this year I'm just really interested to see what Cinderella team is that's going to be.
Cool. And what are your thoughts on those ticket prices? Because I wanted to go to a game or two, but I saw those ticket prices. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them because people are going to be flying in all over the world to support their teams. But I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I really wanted to catch a game, but as a college student, my pockets cannot afford that. So I'll be tuned in from my TV and, maybe I'll go to a watch party at like a sports place, but I will not be there.
Okay, thank you so much, Ethan.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to take it back to Jalen.
Thanks, Janice. I appreciate it. Joining me now is Braden Goetz. He's here to talk about the 2026 Tucson Tattoo Expo. And Braden, what can you tell our audience about the Tattoo Expo?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, I apologize. Just at the state championship up in Phoenix, driving home and ran into some insane traffic. But in some lighter news, big news for ink fans down in southern Arizona, it's the 18th annual Tucson Tattoo Expo. Coming back this weekend at Casino del Sol. And it will run from March 6th through March 8th. Seemed lost. Feature dozens of local artists, even some that I've gotten some pieces done by, which will be really exciting. Well, some artists from California and Nevada. There'll be a wide array of vendors and tattoo competitions. And the hotel at Casino del Sol is offering special rates rooms in Estrella Tower run you about $119 per night, or rooms in the Del Sol Tower are going for $144 a night. Pre-sale tickets can be found on their website at TucsonTattooExpo.com. Day pass is $15, and you can get in all weekend for $20. So pretty good deal.
Yeah, sounds pretty
If
good.
you want more information, you can find them on Instagram at Tucson Tattoo Expo and Facebook also at Tucson Tattoo Expo.
All right, can't wait to look forward to that. Thank you, Braden, for joining us. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Jalen. Have a great show.
All right, thank you. All right, now let's toss it back to Janice.
All right, I'm back. So next we are going to be hearing from Greg, and he's going to be talking about the arc from the Raiders.
What's up, Varsity Weekly Live? I'm Craig Baker, coming to you with a segment about easily one of the most highly touted video games in recent memory, Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is a fully online multiplayer extraction shooter featured in a post-apocalyptic world controlled by large robots called Arc. The goal of the game is simple. Join an online server with as many as 2 friends, raid the map for good items and weapons, and extract if you can. Just look out for the deadly Arc, and in some cases, Raiders, which can be just as deadly.
Look at this thing! Oh my god! Oh, it's got a shield around it! Dude, that is so sick! How can you look at this visually and not say, this game is so dope, dude?
Now, I am not the biggest video game player in the world. In fact, I rarely play. However, this game has me entranced. It is so much fun to hop on with your friends and play this game. Now, there's 2 real ways to play this game. You could do PvE, which is player versus enemy, which is you're just fighting Arc robots, or PvP, which means you play to fight other raiders, which is just as fun. Whatever fancies your boat. And trust me, both ways are very, very fun and intoxicating.
It's not gonna do nothing, Jade. Watch. I'll prove it to you.
Duh.
The audio with the video game there, that is awesome. I can't, excuse me. Funny stuff. Anyway, we have we have video games, we have tattoos, and we have World Cup. I can't wait to find out what's going on next. Jalen, what is going on next?
Next is Amaya Lucero to talk about Allegiant Stadium up in Las Vegas, where the Las Vegas Raiders play. Such a beautiful stadium out there.
It is. It's incredible. I've been inside it once, and I know our team out in Las Vegas at UNLV get a chance frequently, as I believe the UNLV football team plays their home games in there. So they get through there, and we've done some games in there as well. We did the semifinals of flag football state championships in there as well. So that being said, take it away.
Hi, I'm Amaya Lucero from UNLV, talking all about how Allegiant Stadium was named the #1 music venue on the West Coast. Allegiant Stadium just earned a major title, being named the #1 West Coast music venue in Billboard's new 2026 Top Music Venues list. The ranking is based on a mix of Billboard's editorial picks and real performance data from Billboard's box score, including concert attendance and gross revenue reported between October 1st of 2024 and September 30th of 2025. With a capacity of almost 72,000 people, Allegiant Stadium has become one of the biggest concert destinations in the country. Allegiant Stadium has hosted major tours over the past few years, from artists like Bad Bunny, Beyonce, Metallica, The Weeknd, Coldplay, Kendrick Lamar, SZA, Shakira, and even Taylor Swift. Billboard also highlighted the stadium's massive production setup, sleek design, and its ability to handle huge touring shows with state-of-the-art acoustics, massive LED screens, and even a retractable, natural glass field tray that helps transform the venue depending on the event.
Welcome back to Varsity Weekly. Some good stuff. Guys, I want to ask you real quick because I didn't have a chance to do that earlier. Any special plans for spring break?
I'm going home. I'm so excited.
I'm gonna take a day trip up to Sedona with one of my friends. I've never been up there, and I heard it's really nice.
It is nice. It's a little warm. You would think it'd be much cooler than it is, but take a sweater. It's one of those where you might be wearing it for an hour and then just leave it in the car. But Janice getting a chance to go home, that's awesome. You'll spend the week with your family and then get back and finish off the semester. So, Janice, what do we have next?
Next, we have Nikki Rajowski telling us about the World Cup Classic, World Baseball Classic, and how it expands global cultural appreciation. So tell us, what do you got?
Hi, Janice. So, with all this talk about the World Cup, I mean, we just had the Super Bowl with Bad Bunny's wonderful performance, and it's been a really good year in kind of multicultural sports, and that transcends into this current World Baseball Classic. So, the World Baseball Classic is a multinational tournament that's taking place from now until March 17th, and that's going to feature teams with like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, and then when you go across the pond, you got Japan, Korea, Taiwan. It's a really beautiful culture to see. And when it comes to baseball, these crowds are some of the most lively crowds you'll ever see. I mean, I was watching a game in the Dominican Republic just a couple days ago, and they had trumpets. They had a bunch of people doing like chants and cheering, and it was really wonderful. And then when you go to Asia, they have flags, they have a bunch of like designated songs for each player, and it's just really wonderful to see that because Major League Baseball is a great sport, but also it's sometimes the crowds can get a little kind of dry.
Okay. And were you able to go to one of the games here for spring training?
I haven't gone to any spring training games yet, unfortunately, but the World Baseball Classic in 2023, that was here in Phoenix, and I got to see the US-Mexico game, which Mexico got the win there, which was a really big win.
Yeah, all right. And I'm trying to think. So who are you going to go for in the World Baseball Classic?
Well, so Japan won last year, or Japan won in 2023. They're looking really strong again. The US is looking like a really good team, but one team I do kind of want to throw out in there is going to be I'll say Taiwan. So Taiwan, they won another big baseball tournament, the Premier 12, just a couple years ago, and they're kind of an up-and-coming baseball country. And seeing that small country with the fans that they have, they've come to the Tokyo Dome. They had about 40,000 fans there yesterday, and they really just put on a show. So I think that it's really fun to see all these countries kind of put themselves out there and how well their sports culture is.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you.
And up next, we're going to pass it back to Jalen.
Thanks, Janice. Appreciate you. Joining me now is Cole Brunt. He's here to talk about the new Warner Bros. Deal. And Cole, what can you tell the audience about this new deal?
Yeah, so this new deal, so the Warner Bros. Discovery Company got bought by Paramount in a huge deal. It was estimated that Warner Bros. Was worth about $110 billion, which is crazy. And with this purchase, it's stated in according to Paramount according to them, they were the ones that estimated this for this much money, as well as that they had a contract that says it should be about 30 films each year that they should include with this. And, I think that this is a huge step for Paramount, especially because, they also have recently purchased the rights for UFC fights, and there's no pay-per-view anymore, and it's only streamed on Paramount Plus, which, I don't know. I think for a movie fan like myself, I'm not really sure what to think, with Warner Bros. Being taken over, but it should be interesting. But I think, fans, everywhere, I don't know if they, the movies will be the same or not, or if they'll enjoy it or not. But Netflix also actually was in contention for buying them. But according to their website, they said that Paramount had actually came out with a higher price for the bid, and they were like, okay, yeah, we'll let them go and take that. But, I feel like that Paramount, they got a lot of power right now.
Yeah, with this new deal, do you think Paramount Plus and HBO Max can like merge together into one streaming service?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely think that they have so much power now that they can start taking over all these different, streaming services and whatnot, and just kind of making it all together in their like one solo deal for sure.
All right. Thank you, Cole, for joining us. That was great insight about the new Warner Bros. Deal. Let's pass it back to Janice.
All right, up next we have Hannah Flanagan talking about Parada del Sol.
Scottsdale goes country as the Para del Sol Rodeo returns this week for its 73rd year. The PRCA-sanctioned event runs March 5th through 8th at Westworld. Performances begin at 7 p.m. Thursday through Saturday with a 2 p.m. show on Sunday. Gates open 2 hours before each performance, and organizers recommend arriving at least an hour early to allow time for parking and seating. Tickets are now 100% digital and must be purchased through the official provider, BAM Tickets, on RodeoScottsdale.com. This event routinely sells out, so fans are encouraged to get their tickets now. For Varsity Sports Show, I'm Hannah Flanagan.
Great show, you guys. A lot of interesting topics right on the cusp of spring break. So it's going to be a fun week off. We're still here. I am looking forward to still being around. And as you guys take some time off, we'll be back next week with our UNLV team. And then they're off the week after. So it should make for an interesting week. But guys, don't go anywhere. Tomorrow night, we'll be back with Friday Night Live here on the Varsity Sports Show Network. And then, of course, Saturday morning, the Varsity Sports Radio Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. On behalf of our incredible team and co-hosts, Janice Reyes and Jalen Higgins, my name is Vince Delicio. Thanks again for tuning in to Varsity Weekly. Have a good night.
It's Varsity Weekly Live, your coverage of all things pop culture, local Arizona news, and national news.